Can you say winning? What's up, everybody? It's Urban Libertarian here, and the sky must be falling. The sky must be falling. Cats and dogs, like from Ghostbusters, Bill Murray. The Ninth Circuit of Court of Appeals, okay? This is the most liberalist of liberalist court of appeals court in the United States, based in San Francisco. They have overturned a lower court's ruling stating the obvious that the Second Amendment the Second Amendment essentially doesn't give us the right. We can carry guns in public, okay? We have a right to defend ourselves in public. We were born that way, no matter how you were born, gay or straight, man or woman, even legal citizens, green card holders, and permanent residents, and everybody that's a legal citizen and or resident of the United States has a right to self-defense, and government cannot take that from you. So let's look at this. This is huge. So this just happened, and I'm going to get into what happened when I called the local LAPD, and I also inquired with the state DOJ, and I'll tell you about that after I get to this, what happened. So basically in Hawaii, that's where it all took place. And I just wanted to find the judge's ruling. Here it is. Judge Dermud Oskanian, sorry, first dude, I think, wrote in his opinion, for better or worse, kind of snarky, the Second Amendment does protect a right to carry a firearm in public for self-defense. Duh. And they were essentially saying that, your birthrights to defend yourself extend beyond the home. And that's obvious. Just like your freedom of speech extends beyond your home. Could you imagine, like, when you're in public, oh, you got to be careful. You can't say that. You can't say that. You can only say that in your home. Or the police can just come up to you. They can, which is called, strip and search or whatever. Correct me, somebody tell me what it's called in New York. Stop and frisk. That's obviously illegal, but most places you can't do that because it's obviously unconstitutional. It's obviously. So this is a huge win, and it's huge. It's ginormous. So I want to get into, let's look at the background and what's been going on and what this really means for California. So this all came about from California Penal Code 26350. And prior to 2012, you could carry a unloaded gun in public, which is kind of stupid because I think, I don't remember, California's got so many dumb laws, a history of tightening and now loosening of gun laws because, what goes up must come down. You can only restrict before freedom pops to the surface. In like 2008 or something, I want to say, they said you couldn't even carry, like you could open carry with loaded, and then they changed it. So now people were carrying unloaded, and now they said that's it. No carrying at all, not even with the bullets separate, okay? Which is not that great, okay? So that was 26350, and that basically said you can't carry anything, okay? And stiff penalties, and obviously this only quote-unquote law-abiding citizens would adhere to this because it hasn't changed gun crime in the city. Trust me. And so I wanted to skip here to the Peruta case that happened in San Diego. This was in 2014. Now, this pertained to the right to conceal carry, and essentially they argued that, yes, you have, that was the Ninth Circuit of Appeals, shocking. Again, they had to hold that Peruta was right, and that basically when you try to get a concealed carry permit in the state of California, it's impossible. And the LA Times did a great story. I'm sure I made a video about it. I'm pretty sure I did. Basically, the only people that could get permits are friends of the sheriff and the mayor who donate to their campaigns. So there you go. Talk about corruption. That's the only people, right? Essentially. So this said that, yeah, it's not it's a shell permit. So before they were saying you need to have good cause. What's your purpose? Are you being threatened? Now it's just like the Second Amendment, bitch. Which it should be. So this is a very good case. So you put the Peruta case and you put this, I don't know what they're calling this, but this case here that says, hey, you have the right to carry open. You have to let people open carry. This one's like you have to let people conceal carry. We don't even need a permit, because you don't need a permit for permits or for something that's not a right, and you have the right to defend yourself. So I would say, correct me if I'm wrong, please, that this ruling supports the Peruta case, but even more so that not only it's a shall issue. Essentially, you go to the police station and they issue you some kind of license. Okay, and to conceal carry, you've got to do some training. Now, realistically, you do not need a license to do something that it's asking for permission. So really, and some people, I am the urban libertarian, so people are going to disagree with me with this, but it's just so true. You should not have to take a class to conceal carry. Now, I believe that you should, and I believe it's I do not recommend that. I recommend that if you're going to conceal carry or carry, that you should practice a lot and know what the fuck you're doing. But I don't believe it should be mandated, because you can't mandate somebody to do something to exercise their right. It just doesn't make sense, and it's something I've believed from a young age. And people have tried to convince me otherwise, and now we're learning that I and millions of other people were correct, that the Constitutional is the supreme law of the land. Now, getting to that, I tried calling the DOJ. I couldn't get a hold of anybody. I was able to talk to the LAPD. I did send a message to, I guess it would be the DOJ up in California, but nobody can answer this. I want to know, well, what's going on? Like, now what are they going to do? So I did some research, and I did more research than this, but essentially I like just how it was, how this just says here. What is the immediate effect of a law is declared unconstitutional? And it's null and void, of no force and effect. So effective immediately, you should be able to open carry. Now, getting to this part, I would prefer to conceal carry, and hopefully that opens up, because I like the idea of conceal carry, because number one, people freak out when they see guns. That's the unfortunate thing. And especially here in LA, people are just going to freak out, and it's stupid, and they shouldn't. And it's almost like this. It's almost like the argument to say, well, you shouldn't carry because you don't have to, and it makes people scared, is kind of like telling gay people, well, you don't have to, like, not hold hands in public. You don't have to, like, you could kiss your boyfriend or your girlfriend or your non-binary or whatever in private. You don't have to show that your affection in public. Well, you know what? They have the right for the First Amendment to do that, whether you disagree with it or not. Obviously, up to a degree where it becomes lewd conduct. Okay? But they have a right to do something that you don't like, that bothers you. Okay? So people carrying around guns, tough shit. That's the argument. And it's really tough. And like I've said in so many of my videos, about changing your mind and changing your attitude. It's going to be very hard in LA because we have so many liberals who are what they hate and who are just super closed-minded, bigoted, and prejudiced against so many things. And if you disagree with me, please, I'll argue that to infinity, because it's so true. They're going to freak out. Now, could that have stopped something at the? I was going to make a separate video. I probably still will. But that whole incident where this guy shot his grandmama in South LA, and I guess he grazed his girlfriend, and he somehow ended up in Silver Lake. I don't even know how that happened. I really should make a video on it. I probably will. Anyway, unfortunately, the police, in trying to stop the perp from going into the armed perp going into the Trader Joe's, which I've been to many times, and it was been just super crowded on a Saturday, which I can imagine there's like so many people in there. They tried to shoot him before he went in to stop a hostage situation, which could have been terrible. Luckily, he didn't kill a bunch of people inside. He didn't harm anybody, thankfully, but he could have. They killed the assistant manager, and it's tragic. It's really sad. I don't know. There's nothing that a conceal carry or a open carry could have done to stop that. There's nothing you can do. The police shot her. And if you watch the video, which I've seen, which I want to post as well, there's nothing you can do. I'm not going to say, guns could have stopped her from getting killed, because it was a gun that killed her, but it was a gun that was trying to defend her and everybody else. we're human, and that was the judgment at the time. And I have nothing against the police in that. And it's tragic all around. Even for the guy who went in there, his family, they got their grandma killed, and him, and then it's just everything. It's just totally sad. But, and this is why I like concealed carry, well, even open carry for that fact, but I think concealed carry would be even better because you could get into a sticky situation. Now, if you're in there and this guy comes in, now he could just start, who knows what his stability is? He killed his grandmother, okay? You're not, I don't care what you say. I don't know. I'm not a psychologist, but like I would say you're not mentally stable if you kill your grandma. I mean, that's kind of weird and abnormal. It's not, it would be cause for concern. This guy's not stable. He could have just started, he could have took people hostage. Who knows what could have happened, So maybe you could stop this dude, because that's the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun, unless they willingly give up, which he did, because the cop shot him and he was bleeding and he needed medical attention, I'm assuming. But I mean, if things could have went south and there was somebody armed in there, they could have at least, stopped the guy. And everybody go, oh, you don't know, it caused more problems. Okay, I ask you this question. You're in a corner, this dude's coming at you. Do you want a gun or not? Thank you. Okay. Do you want a pipe if you don't want a gun? Do you want something? Yeah, you wanted to be able to defend yourself in a do or die, that's it situation. You're kind of dumb to say you wouldn't, and even if a Buddhist monk would defend themselves, and it's not wrong to defend yourself. But this is going on too long. I'm going to end that. I don't even think most people have gotten this far. Thanks for watching. The big news is that now we can carry in California. I wouldn't recommend going out and doing it. I'm not going to do it. I think it's going to freak a lot of people out. Unfortunately, we just got to kind of stay in the closet. I'm waiting for them to finally just say we can conceal carry, and you don't even need to go get a license, because right now you just can't in LA or most counties. So thanks for watching. Let me know what you guys think in the comments.